Today, Hollywood comes to Oklahoma, where the stars from August Osage County like to eat and shop. Delicious chocolate festival in Norman and fly fishing on the Illinois.
Travel with AAA's Discover Oklahoma.
Hi, and welcome to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. I'm Jennifer Reynolds.
And I'm Dean O'Lawley. We're coming to you from the Warren Theater and more, and that's very fitting, if I might say, because a couple of the stories in the show have to do with movies being made here in Oklahoma.
One in particular is garnering some Oscar buzz right now. It's called August Osage County, and it features an all-star, award-winning cast, including Julia Roberts and Meryl Streep.
As we mentioned, the movie was made here in Oklahoma, and it just actually opened just a few weeks ago, but it goes without saying that Oklahoma is a great place to make a movie. We have some first-rate film incentives, but you cannot beat the climate, the locations, or the people.
I loved Oklahoma. I loved it.
A ringing endorsement for the Sooner State straight from Hollywood. But would you believe the movie August Osage County almost didn't film in Oklahoma?
Had that not happened, I'm not sure it would have been shot here.
Joe Simpson, the director of the Oklahoma Film and Music Office, and others worked 4 years to convince movie makers to settle on the state. A helicopter ride for director John Wells, along with the film's production designer David Grotman, helped open their eyes.
So by virtue of them being able to go up and see these landscapes from above and see the shapes of the hills and really get a feel for the place, that sealed the deal. Because once they had done that, David Grotman and John Wells went to bat with me to bring it to Oklahoma.
The film industry, like many, is a bottom-line business, and so there is one thing more important than a beautiful landscape.
Incentives, then location. And it had to be a combination of those two things. And John Wells just said in print that without incentives, there's no way he could have brought the film here.
But once they were here, they were hooked.
You know what? We all loved Oklahoma and this northeastern quadrant of the state. We're north of Tulsa in Bartlesville, and it's a really great part of the country. They got a nice, quiet economy going nicely, and the town just threw their doors open for us. We all lived together in this condo complex, brand new, right behind the Toyota dealership. So we were so warmly welcomed, and the location was the right one. So everyone was, goes without saying, happy to be there.
Even stars not sold on filming far away from home warmed up.
Julia Roberts did not want to come to Oklahoma. She had little kids in school. She didn't want to leave her family. She wanted to see this shot on a soundstage. And I've really been tracking her comments at the festivals and at premieres. She's one of the biggest advocates about Oklahoma. She loved it here. She says it was, I think she said on Letterman last week, it was the most awesome experience she's ever had.
It's an experience Simpson's office wants to make sure keeps repeating itself.
We're hoping to extend our rebate program in the coming legislative session, and that is a 35% cash back on qualified taxable transactions in Oklahoma. It's capped at $5 million a year. But that's not the whole story. The whole story that we know as Oklahomans is it's a really hospitable place to be and to work. Our people will bend over backwards to make your experience good, to make you feel at home.
And that gorgeous Oklahoma landscape, well, it doesn't hurt either.
I loved the drives to set. It was like an hour every day to set. And the leaves were changing. It was November, it was the fall. I would listen to some Christmas music. I'd have a pumpkin spice latte. It was amazing. I loved Oklahoma.
And a little bit later in the show, we'll actually take you to Pawhuska and Bartlesville to show you where the cast and crew love to eat and also some of their favorite shops.
It's some kind of universal law that you cannot see a movie without a big trip to the snack bar first.
Oh, that's a rule in our family. We have to stop there first.
No matter what you tell the kids ahead of time.
That's right.
Well, in Norman, it can't be February without a chocolate festival.
And for over 30 years, it's been the annual fundraiser for Norman's Firehouse Art Center.
From a college favorite to a downtown institution and everywhere in between, chefs in Norman are pulling out all the stops for the Firehouse Art Center's Chocolate Festival.
We have combined chocolate and the arts to produce a world-famous fundraiser.
World famous is right. The long line of chocolate seekers have earned the Firehouse Arts Center the honor of third best food festival in the United States, and this year's event shouldn't disappoint.
We will have 25 vendors this year, and they will have a tremendous range of all sorts of chocolates to actually cater to everyone's tastes.
The festival is the only fundraiser for the Firehouse Arts Center, and it's important to the community.
Because the Firehouse is a nonprofit, we provide arts, culture, and education to the community, and we have for more than 40 years.
So no wonder staples like Legends on Lindsay Street are already doing trial runs.
This is our chocolate amaretto cream cake, and this is the cake that we serve at the Chocolate Festival.
Certainly isn't the only thing in the dessert case at Legends, but it is the only one chocolate lovers want at the festival.
We have actually put in different chocolate items, but when we would run out of the chocolate amaretto cream cake, people would freak out and want to make sure they got a piece of the chocolate amaretto cream cake. So we have, through trial and error, figured out that this is the only thing that we take to the Chocolate Festival, and we take about 30 cakes, and we serve probably about 2,000 pieces.
Chocolate Festival fans won't only have a taste of their favorites.
This is something that we've just come up with to do for the Chocolate Festival.
At newer Norman restaurant Local, they're going a non-traditional route.
This is a locally raised beef ribeye. We just went ahead and just put a little oil and then rubbed it with this coffee and cocoa rub. We want to do something different, something away from all the sweets. You know, try to do something savory, but still incorporate chocolate into it as well.
And the taste testers here, they're already singing its praises.
Sorry. We'll just keep this.
That was ridiculous.
That is really good. It's delicious. That is so good.
The Chocolate Festival is a week from today in Norman. You can contact the Firehouse Arts Center for more information. And if you're headed out to Norman, check out what else you can do there on our website, travelok.com.
Well, chocolate is indeed a sweet treat.
But you know, when it gets cold like this, a lot of us are looking for comfort food. Coming up, we're opening the old Bank Vault in Tulsa and discovering a totally different kind of restaurant when Discover Oklahoma continues.
On the road, one never knows what lies ahead. Indubitably, almost every week, one encounters bad form from Sunday drivers.
Sheer rudeness begets the occasional fender bender.
Precisely why we have insurance from AAA.
Hear, hear.
A name drivers can trust.
Especially good ones.
Especially great ones.
Cheers!
Every night,
my honey lemon eye.
sit alone and talk.
Watch a hawk
making lazy circles in the sky. You know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand.
We're only saying
you're doing fine, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, come see for yourself.
Daddy, look, a beaver.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, no.
Until there's an impenetrable force field to protect your car from woodland creatures, there's the next best thing, insurance from AAA.
Welcome back to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. Headed to Tulsa now to a trendy restaurant called The Vault inside an iconic mid-century modern building.
There's beautiful 60s styles architecture, there's art, there's great food, there's a cocktail menu that is to die for, and Abby Curran is going to give us the tour.
Calling all Mad Men TV series fans, architecture aficionados, and food lovers, The Vault restaurant in downtown Tulsa is just for you. Owners Jeremy and Libby Auld opened The Vault in September 2012.
When we found this space, we definitely knew that we wanted to have kind of a 60s inspired menu, not to mention mid-century modern architecture, design, like Mad Men is very popular right now. So we kind of lucked out in the fact that that was really popular and we found this space at the same time.
A unique experience awaits you at the Vault. The atmosphere itself is what makes this restaurant one of a kind. The 1960s architecture was preserved in such a way that you can't believe you're dining in a bank. There are multiple levels and different rooms to explore as well.
So this room was originally the bank, where our bar is. That's the original bank teller line. And so the tellers worked right there. You can take the elevator up and we have the mezzanine, which is kind of a semi-private dining room. We can seat up to 20 people in there, but you overlook the main dining room. And then the Tom Tom room is our private dining room that you can also, it's open all the time, but people can rent it for private events. And then it has a big patio that seats another 60 people outside of the patio.
The original building was once the world's largest auto bank at the time. The incredible look of the restaurant isn't the only thing paying homage to the 1960s.
A lot of our cocktails are throwback cocktails from classic cocktails like from the 60s, and we try to incorporate some fun 1960s things, like we have a pimento mac and cheese and just different things like that, deviled eggs, stuff like that that you wouldn't necessarily see on a modern American menu, but that we're kind of throwing back from the 60s. So.
They're known for their Clipper Ship chicken and are proud to serve organic meats and work with local farms.
Yeah, I did write the original menu, and we modify it. It changes 3 to 4 times a year, and then we always have nightly specials. But yeah, it's pretty fun. We just try to, keep it balanced with plenty of options: vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, all the different changing diets these days that people have. And so, try to make sure that we have offerings for everybody.
The Vault is open 6 days a week and offers a $7 lunch Monday through Friday. The Tom Tom room stays open late Friday and Saturday.
I love this restaurant. It's just so beautiful. It seems like it's got a really positive energy in regards to people coming in, and they're so thankful that we saved the building. And so I feel like on a regular basis, I'll get someone that'll tell me, oh, my father worked at this bank, or I remember banking here. I opened my first checking account here. And I really like all the nostalgia that comes along with sort of saving an old building.
From the Vault in Tulsa, I'm Abby Curran.
For more information on the Vault, check out the Discover Oklahoma page at travelok.com.
When we come back, we'll return to the area where they shot August, Osage County.
This time we'll tell you where the stars and the cast and crew actually enjoyed eating and shopping, all that and more when AAA's Discover Oklahoma continues right after this.
I was sitting behind an SUV at a red stoplight, and I guess the light wasn't turning green fast enough for her, so she puts her SUV in reverse and backs right into my new car. I'd called her insurance several times and they had never heard of her.
We recommended that she go ahead and turn the claim in to AAA so that AAA claims adjusters could take care of her.
I paid my $500 deductible to get my car fixed, and I didn't ever expect to see that money again.
I didn't want her to have to be out $500 because it wasn't her fault. So that was the only question. A lot of times if there is no insurance coverage, it's hard to get the other party to pay up.
2 months later, I had a check in the mail from AAA for my $500. So when I had given up on it, they were still fighting to get my money back for me.
She said, guess what? I got a check in the mail. That was a good feeling for her, and it made me feel good too.
They've really shown me that if I ever have a problem, that they're gonna help me fix it.
Welcome back to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. We told you a bit earlier about the great new movie, August, Osage County, that was filmed right here in Oklahoma.
It's been playing here at the Warren Theater where we are this evening, and other theaters throughout Oklahoma. Now, the production actually filmed in and around Bartlesville and Pawhuska.
That was great news for those communities because while they're here, the crews get out and spend money.
Absolutely. And so where did they eat? What shops did Hollywood discover? Let's head back up to northeastern Oklahoma to find out.
When a movie comes to town, whereas it's fun and exciting, it's really economic development for the community and the state. The cast and crew stay in hotels, buy goods and services, hire locals, eat in restaurants, and they shop.
There were a lot of people that did business with the crew, and so they were very excited to think that they had some little part of it. And they purchased items from several stores in Pawhuska.
Sister's Attic, Mud Pies, the Cedar Chest, and Townmakers Square are just a few of the shops that reap the benefits of August Osage County being filmed here. Kathy Wharton is the owner of Townmakers Square in Pawhuska, and they not only bought items from her store for the set, but they ended up renting several items from her home, including a bird bath she had in the backyard.
It was just a great experience. I wish that we could have something like that going on all the time. I thought it was wonderful.
My thing is, I want people to, no matter who you are, I want you to enjoy my town. And I want you to feel comfortable.
And indeed, the cast and crew felt very comfortable. And one very important activity for a film crew while on location is eating. A well-fed crew is a happy crew. Marlene Mosley is the owner of the Prairie Dog in Pawhuska.
John and his crew both would come in, some of the crew would come in on a daily basis. They enjoyed the town, they enjoyed, of course, coming to the Prairie Dog and hot dogs. They were quite taken by the fact that there's kind of a little oasis in the middle of Pawhuska where you find hot dogs, yogurt, and cupcakes. So it was kind of fun. It was fun. They had a good time.
They also had a good time at Bad Brad's Barbecue.
They were here pretty regular. They would call and pick up pretty good amounts of food at times. But, as far as those people, you know, they're good for business.
And in Bartlesville, the story was the same, especially at Frank and Lola's.
They thought that the food that we were putting out matched any food that they had anywhere else around the country. We did notice a financial impact. Our sales increased considerably with all of the crew that came in and some of the actresses that were in here. And we also had quite an influx of locals that would come in once the word got out that they were frequenting our establishment, trying to come in and see people. So we really enjoyed it.
Other businesses and restaurants benefited greatly by having the film base in Bartlesville.
One of the first places that they visited was Dink's. They had kind of a kickoff party for the beginning of production, and they completely closed down Dink's Barbecue, and the cast and crew were there. So Meryl Streep, Julia Roberts, George Clooney, all of those people, you can say if you go eat at Dink's that they ate here.
And places like the Rolling Pin and McAllister's received business from the production, as well as other shops like Sweet Peas in downtown. Owner Margot Proctor said they were in her store quite often.
It was exciting to be a part of that and to have them purchase things that I knew would be in the movie.
The citizens of Bartlesville understood that there was economic impact that came with having such a high-profile film.
And due to something called film tourism, there are now plans in the works to create a tour in Bartlesville to highlight the film production.
We want to make sure people know where they filmed, where they ate, and where they stayed. And we want to make sure that they get to see those things and experience the August Osage County film the way that the cast and crew did.
This time of year, lots of folks looking to get inside, so they flock to the movie theaters.
And there are those of us who try to brave the cold temperatures and enjoy some of the great outdoors. So come along with us as we go fly fishing along the Illinois. All that and more when AAA's Discover Oklahoma continues right after this.
He's been our insurance agent for the last 6 years. But the year before that, he was the best man at my wedding.
Asked him if I could quote his auto insurance, to which he said, yes, but you're gonna have to beat the company I've been with for forever in order to get it.
I didn't think they'd be able to.
So I took the opportunity to quote it, and I know I was able to save him about $600 a year.
Man, I was just like, boom shakalaka, like, are you kidding me?
He actually said that on the phone, boom shakalaka.
You know, saving money with AAA means food on the table for my family. Even after he saved us tons of money, he's looked at our policy over the years and helped us make changes to save even more money without us asking.
We offer the best of both worlds. We have great customer satisfaction through the level of service that we provide, and combined with an amazingly low rate.
You know, as a parent and as a husband, having insurance is a safety net because life happens. I know that AAA is going to take care of us. I don't have to worry about it. AAA is going to be there. Levi's going to be there. They're going to take care of our needs.
My dad had a Honda, my mom had a Honda. It was coming from a 2007 Honda Accord. I traded in for a Ford Fusion Titanium. I kind of was indifferent toward Ford, and then I sat in the Fusion for the first time, and I was just like, wow. You have the power, but you have the fuel economy. That's what EcoBoost does. I love to tell people, look at what Ford has to offer.
Make the switch to Ford Fusion. Get 0 for 60 or $2,000 cash back at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
AAA Oklahoma makes this show possible and does a lot of other great things around our state. Here's a look at today's AAA.
Hi, Christy Gettle here with AAA Oklahoma.
Since 1902, AAA has been the #1 name for roadside assistance. But did you know we're also considered a leader for auto, home, and life insurance? So what sets us apart from the competition? To start, AAA is rated A+ Superior by AM Best for financial stability and claims paying ability. And because we're fiscally strong, we provide our members and policyholders with extensive coverage savings. Just for being loyal, members can save up to 15% on auto insurance. Multi-policy discounts? We've got those too. Save 5% on auto and 30% on home when you insure both through AAA. Plus, with offices throughout the U.S. and representatives available 24/7, you know you're covered with AAA. To learn more about AAA auto, home, and life insurance, visit AAA.com.
AAA, for the ones who matter most to you.
You know what would be a good idea right now?
What?
Is to go pick up the latest edition of Oklahoma Today magazine for a variety of reasons, but this month, guess what? They have a story about fly fishing.
You don't have to go very far because I happen to have one right here. There's fly fishing on the cover. You know, I've only done it once, but I loved it.
And it was an adventure, to say the least.
I was a little on the dangerous side, but it was really fun. And you like it too, I know.
I do. I wish I could go more often, but when I was going to do a story on fly fishing, I actually got smart. I enlisted some help because, frankly, as you well know, I needed it, and here's why.
A peaceful sound, a relaxing spot, and a sport as old as time. Fly fishing brings together the sound of water and a necessary balance between the rod, the cast, and the fly, with the hopes that a fish will strike.
It is truly a way that you can be outdoors and really thinking about and reacting to the natural world around you. In other words, the natural fish that are in the stream, the bugs that they eat, the weather, you know, everything, it's just a good reason to get outside.
Admittedly, the winter can douse the enthusiasm to be outdoors, but while it may not be the best time to go swimming or boating, you can go fishing for trout because wintertime is the best season for it.
It is still the best kept secret of fly fishing. I guarantee you, you can come over the Illinois River today and catch more fish than you can in the hottest tourist, you know, the prime time tourists on the Rio Grande River outside of Crete. The Wildlife Department has done such a great job of creating this kind of habitat and stocking these fish. I mean, they are dumping fish on top of fish in here. So it's not uncommon, I hear it all the time, that people come to the Illinois River and have 30 fish days.
Not only is the lower Illinois River great for fly fishing, but the lower Mountain Fork is spectacular, followed by the Blue River. Mark says principally the main difference between regular fishing and fly fishing is, of course, the casting. And while I was thrown into the deep end, so to speak, on this day, I finally got the hang of it. But before that, Mark told me he does enjoy the investigative part of fly fishing.
Well, that's the whole basis, really, of fly fishing is matching that food source. And so that's half the fun for people to come out here, and like right now, if we don't see any particular aquatic insect activity above the surface, well, there's still a world underneath there of life and death and finding food sources. And with just a little bit of investigation, we can turn over some rocks or do a little bit of seining, and we can see what the fish are eating and what's available to them. Exactly. That's what we'd encourage everybody to do, is take a little bit of time and just see what's going on.
And I love the scientific name for this is?
Turning over rocks.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
For the beginning fly fisherman, getting a solid base of information, doing some investigative work ahead of time, practicing your cast, along with reading the river, will certainly help your chances at reeling in some rainbow or brown trout. But remember, going back to nature, let me point out there really aren't any ugly places to go fly fishing, and nothing beats that moment when the trout takes the bite.
Excellent. Good job.
Now here's the other thing. It's like, how much do you fight with him? Just keep tension on the line?
Yeah, it's not a very big fish here. You're okay. Just bring him in gently, just like you're doing, and I'll pull the net out. We'll net this guy, this monster. You just caught, there we go. You just caught a little brown trout.
There you go.
You just caught a brown.
Well done. Looked like fun.
It was actually a lot of fun. Mark Patton is the real fly fisherman. I was just happy to be there.
Okay, and if you want to learn more about fly fishing in Oklahoma, and yes, there is lots of it, check out this current edition of Oklahoma Today magazine.
There's also a very entertaining, informative article about the movie we mentioned, August, Osage County, and there's also another great article about the new Woody Guthrie Center in Tulsa.
January, February issue on newsstands now, or you can order a subscription at oklahomatoday.com. Coming up next week on Discover Oklahoma, we've got you covered for Valentine's Day. Come along as we show you the best Oklahoma-themed gifts for your sweetheart, or anybody really.
So until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover
in Oklahoma.
Production vehicle provided by the Oklahoma Ford Dealers, official partner of the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department.